You want to be cheered up on this rainy Tuesday afternoon. It's dark, it's dreary, it's stormy. Well, in September, it's sunny, it's warm. The dry air of Las Vegas, Nevada will feel fantastic. And coming up at 5 o'clock, this should cheer you up. A chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas for our iHeartRadio Music Festival, plus a $1,000 gift card. It's the iHeartRadio Music Festival Win Before You Can Buy contest. We just started it today. It is only going through next Tuesday, and it's coinciding with our announcement of the iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup today. You can't even buy tickets to the 2025 festival, which is taking place in Las Vegas, September 19th and 20th, but you can win them right here. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we are going to give you the word that you need to text in order to win. Are you ready for this? Trip for two to Las Vegas to see both nights of the festival, September 19th and 20th. The prize includes round-trip airfare, 2 nights hotel stay, tickets to the show, plus a $1,000 gift card. Think of it as like the Spring Green Cash Contest, which we just concluded, on steroids, because you also get a trip to Las Vegas. And one thing we know about our listeners, about Wisconsinites, it's that we love Las Vegas. We typically will get way more winners for the music festival flyaway contest in August and September than we'll get for the $1,000 cash contests in fall, winter, spring, and summer. For whatever reason, actually, I know why. It's because more people are entering because it's a vacation as well as $1,000. So you've just got more people entering. But for whatever reason, we'll have 8, 9 winners on this show, on Jay's show, on Vicky, on Ben Yount, over the course of, say, the Sizzlin' Summer Cash Contest, which should be getting underway right after the 4th of July holiday weekend. We'll get 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there. We'll get 23 or 24 winners. One year, there was an entire plane load of people. I think every single person was a winner, going out to Las Vegas on September 18th for the iHeartRadio Music Festival, or whatever day it was back then, heading out to the festival. All right, we have got a jam-packed show today, as we always do. Daily Trump Date coming up at the start of the 4 o'clock hour. We'll name the unhinged liberal of the day, unsung hero of the day. We'll check in with Dave Spano on tacos. No, not Taco Tuesday, but the idea that Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. You can ask any of the countries that are now paying us billions and billions of dollars that they weren't before Liberation Day, whether President Trump actually chickens out on his threats. But this is a thing that apparently Wall Street is taking into account. We will also check in on the Maxwell Anderson trial. Actually, a very big day of testimony today. I think the state bolstered its case, and there's some concern that Anderson might actually walk for the murder of Sade Robinson and subsequent dismemberment of her body. Also, very, very sad story out of Washington State with ties to Wisconsin. A man originally from Pewaukee who graduated from Pewaukee High School, then moved out west, never dropped off his 3 young daughters when he was supposed to. He had a visitation with them right before the weekend. the saddest possible update that you could imagine. Unfortunately, we'll have to bring you that story coming up. You want to join us? 414-799-1130 on the adventnews.com talk and text line. Reach us toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email me directly, dod@iheartmedia.com. At Dan O'Donnell Show on X. We are streaming on X, on Facebook at Dan O'Donnell Show, on YouTube. Just search for Dan O'Donnell Show. And now for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming live on the gram, as the kids call it, Instagram, at Dan O'Donnell Show there. If you're not following me, I just started posting reasonably heavily on Instagram. I'm using a software service that allows me to post across multiple social media sites all at once. And it just took me a little while to be able to work on this platform and getting Instagram integrated. You folks don't want to hear all that. All you want to know is to go to at Dan O'Donnell Show on Instagram to watch the show streaming live as well. 5 o'clock, chance for you to win a trip for two to Las Vegas and $1,000 right now. It is yet another Dan O'Donnell Show exclusive story. State Representative Robin Vining has put out a 9-bill mental health care is healthcare package and is seeking co-sponsorship. Two of those bills, which seek to spend $300 million per year bolstering mental health from state government, are actually grossly unconstitutional. They, in fact, seek to codify DEI in Wisconsin statutes by giving out scholarship and grant money from the state to people based solely on their race. As if the United States Supreme Court didn't make it abundantly clear in 2023 that this sort of thing is grossly unconstitutional, there was just a District 2 Wisconsin Court of Appeals case decided in late February that struck down a nearly identical state program because it was favoring members of a particular race. What Vining's bill seeks to do, one of the two, LRB 1691, is funding for University of Wisconsin System Student Health Services and making an appropriation. As Vining writes, the stresses of being a college student can weigh heavily on individuals who often have to balance a full academic load along with a job, internship, volunteer work, social life, and self-care. These factors, along with other outside factors, can lead to higher rates of burnout and mental health issues. Students who seek out mental health care through the university often have to wait up to a month before university health services can fit them in the schedule due to a high demand for these services. Increased funding for university mental health services could help alleviate this issue by allowing universities to hire more mental health providers to keep up with demand. Now, this sounds pretty good, right? It sure does. Here's where things get a little problematic. LRB 0013. How exactly will these mental health professionals be funded? By a grant. Every Wisconsin child deserves access to the mental health care they need, Vining writes, as well as her co-sponsors. Ensuring access to adequate mental health care for kids is important for both the well-being of our students and their academic success. Our students are reporting high record levels of anxiety and self-harm. Students who struggle with mental health issues are at especially high risk for expulsion, perform lower on academic achievement tests, have decreased graduation rates. The incidence of youth who are dying by suicide has risen in the last few years around the nation, including in Wisconsin, especially amongst vulnerable populations. The time to act is now. It's not just students, but rather racially and ethnically diverse students. Racially and ethnically diverse schools need more mental health professionals who reflect the racial and ethnic diversity of the students they serve. Students from marginalized backgrounds benefit significantly when they can connect with mental health professionals who share similar experiences and cultural backgrounds. For Black students in particular, positive outcomes associated with this role model effect can last into adulthood and potentially shrink the educational attainment gap. LRB 0013 creates a grant program for school districts to hire mental health professionals who are members of a racial minority group. Included in this call for co-sponsors is analysis by the Legislative Reference Bureau, which provides analysis for proposed bills from a neutral point of view. Under this bill, the Department of Public Instruction must establish and administer a grant program to award grants to school districts to hire school mental health professionals who are members of a racial minority group. The bill appropriates $5 million for each of the next 2 fiscal years for the grants. For further information, see the state and local fiscal estimate, which will be printed as an appendix to this bill. What this means is that $5 million in grant money per year would be going to people of a certain racial or ethnic background to be hired by the state. This is about as flagrant a violation as the 14th Amendment to the Constitution as it gets. Grants can only be awarded to individuals who are members of a racial minority group. Those are defined as Black American, American Indian or Alaskan Native, Hispanic, Asian or Pacific Islander, or an individual of 2 or more races. In addition to LRB 0013, another of this 9-bill package of mental health is physical health or whatever it's called proposal by Vining, and incidentally, she is co-sponsored on all of these by one of the most radical members of the state legislature, Supreme Moore Omakunde from Milwaukee, also happens to be the son of Congresswoman Gwen Moore. He also happens to be the dude who was slashing tires on Republican vans that were going to be used the next day, the 2004 presidential election, to transport voters to the polling places. In other words, Supreme Moore Omakunde, who back then was known as Supreme Solar Allah, was actively trying to keep people from voting. He is now one of Vining's co-sponsors on all of these bills. A co-sponsor on many of these bills is Francesca Hong. She is the foul-mouthed crazy person from Madison, who is also a member of the Wisconsin State Legislature. LRB 1682, just like LRB 0013, provides millions of dollars worth of grants to require the Public Instruction Department of Public Instruction, DPI, would be required to create and administer a grant program that would cover the cost of education that's needed to become a licensed school social worker in Wisconsin. Sounds pretty awesome, right? We need more social workers in this state. We need social workers in particular in schools. We want to encourage more people to become social workers. But because we can't possibly have white social workers or Asian American social workers, I guess Asian is actually included in their list of minorities. Asian social workers are just fine. It's you whiteys that we can't possibly have in our schools. Grants may only be awarded to, again, Black Americans, American Indians, or Alaskan Natives, Hispanic, Asians, or Pacific Islanders, or individuals of two or more races. Once again, $5 million a year in general purpose revenue for fiscal years 2025 and 2026. Again, in all, $300 million would be allocated, and some of these are not the worst ideas in the world. Having people get grant money to work as a social worker in the public school system, or to be educated as a social worker so that they can work in the public school system based on race, is a blatant violation of the 14th Amendment. It also goes against a Court of Appeals decision on almost this exact same thing from just a couple of months ago. February 26th, in Rabibna et al., the Higher Educational Aids Board, the District 2 Court of Appeals struck down a longtime scholarship program for minority students. It was known as the Minority Undergraduate Retention Grant Program. It was established by the state legislature in the 1985 biennial budget. And the court struck it down, finding, quote, government funding or support designed to provide a benefit or cause a detriment to persons based even in part on their race, national origin, or ancestry cannot stand. In 2021, a woman by the name of Rabibna, as well as her husband, sued the Higher Educational Aids Board in Jefferson County Circuit Court. They alleged their son was not eligible for this scholarship because of his race. They won. The Court of Appeals and the Wisconsin Supreme Court has yet to take this case up. My guess is that if they do, they'll be striking it down. This, by the way, is why it is such a good thing that the Wisconsin Supreme Court is about the laziest court that we have ever had. Since the libs took control of it and took control of setting the court's calendar, its docket, what cases it's going to take, they are taking practically zero cases. You think I'm exaggerating? They are taking almost no cases. It's actually remarkable how little these women work. Meanwhile, when the court was controlled by conservatives, they had a pretty standard docket. They would be deciding state constitutional issues rather regularly. Now, nope. Consider this. It's been almost 3 years. This month, we are going to mark 3 years since Roe v. Wade was overturned. In, I believe it was June 22nd, 2022. You might remember the draft opinion was leaked in an obvious effort to intimidate the conservative justices into changing their minds on this decision. But yeah, it was late June 2022. It's been almost 3 years now. They still haven't decided the abortion case here in Wisconsin. Something tells me they're not going to decide this one. But here you have yet another example of how Democrats in the Wisconsin legislature have absolutely no problem introducing legislation that is grossly unconstitutional, that favors members of a particular race over others for state benefits, something that violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. And as if it wasn't enough that the State Court of Appeals just ruled on this, in 2023, you might remember the fair admissions case. It was a lawsuit against Harvard University, and the United States Supreme Court basically struck down all racial preferences in admission. In the context of university and government benefits generally, the court held that the core purpose of the Equal Protection Clause is doing away with all governmentally imposed discrimination based on race, emphasizing that eliminating racial discrimination means eliminating all of it. Robin Vining and Supreme Solar Moore Gwen Omakunde Allah have no problem with racial discrimination, so long as it's against white people. Now, this is no big deal. Republicans, of course, control the state legislature for now. They'll never bring this up for a vote. And if they do, it'll be only to illustrate just how insane Democrats are. My guess, it never even comes close to getting out of committee, even if they get enough co-sponsorship to actually introduce it. What about in early 2027? What if they actually manage to win control of both houses of the legislature? They're only down 1 seat in the Senate and 4 in the Assembly. Let's say Tony Evers wins a third term. Or let's say they Joe Biden him and put in somebody else. Let's say you've got a Democrat governor and a Democrat legislature and a liberal Supreme Court. This sort of stuff that we can sort of dismiss and laugh at and say, well, it's obviously unconstitutional. It couldn't possibly stand, right? Well, yeah, it could. And it probably will. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. The replacement for UW-Madison's chief diversity officer is apparently just as bad. We'll get to that next.
More of the Dan O'Donnell Show is next.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas.
and you can win your way to be there.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com. But starting June 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only, or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet? Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or our Brookfield store off I-94 and Blue Mound Road. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm Larry Brinkman, president of Dornbrook Construction. Dornbrook Construction has installed concrete in every industrial and commercial setting from the Milwaukee Airport to Campbell's Soup. From big shots in manufacturing and industry, locally as well as the up-and-coming businesses in southeastern Wisconsin. Big business chooses Dornbrook because they know Dornbrook is ACI certified, fully licensed, insured, and bonded. And they know for 25 years, Dornbrook stands behind every square foot of concrete we install. Little businesses choose Dornbrook for all those reasons, and also because they can afford to choose Dornbrook. Dornbrook is industry's choice for commercial concrete because we do perfect business efficiency-minded preparation and installation on every job. We know you aren't closing your business to have concrete work done. 25 years of experience ensures your loading dock or dumpster pad or machine base or huge flat concrete job isn't our first go-round. Standing behind the concrete Wisconsin businesses and residents stand on, Dornbrook Construction, dornbrookconstruction.com, 414-333-0642.
Whether you're on a commercial job site or tackling residential projects, support yourself and your crew with the AFS Advantage. AFS Advanced Fastening Supply is locally owned with a complete inventory of all the major brands of tools, fasteners, and safety equipment to make sure your job is done right and on time for all your projects throughout the year. Experience the AFS Advantage today. Advanced Fastening Supply on Doral Road in Waukesha or advancedfasteningsupply.com.
We've talked about what's happening in the insurance market today, but Jeff Salazinski, the Vice President of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance, says he's paying attention to a few things that may be coming down the road.
Thanks, Jay. You heard me talk about increasing costs in auto insurance, general liability insurance, and umbrella insurance. Why is this happening? Legal system abuse is becoming more prominent with increased litigation and huge legal costs that come with it, and it's driving up what you pay for insurance. Attorney advertising, which is everywhere we turn. Look at my $10 million verdict. Need I say more? We're seeing third-party litigation funding as well, which is outside capital or a private lender providing money to plaintiffs and their law firms in support of their lawsuits.
So how can R&R Insurance help?
At R&R Insurance, we understand these complex issues and market conditions. We know how to protect your business or your personal assets while creating competition for your account and securing for you the best coverage at the best price.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thank you, Jeff.
This summer, are you ready to climb to the top? Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you closer to the summit. Now through August 17th, play each day for free in the Quick Rewards app and score bonus plays with every eligible item you grab. Like an ice cold Pepsi, bold Mountain Dew, hydrating Gatorade or Propel, sparkling bubbler, smooth Starbucks, refreshing Pure Leaf, or the high voltage taste of Rockstar. Grab one of those with hot food and earn 2 bonus plays. Yeah, and here's where it gets more intense. Every week, someone's cashing in. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, stacking higher and higher till one player reaches the top, scoring the ultimate prize, $250,000 cash money. Open your Quick Rewards app and get climbing for a chance to win, because this summer, the view from the top is worth every play. Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Reiterating our exclusive story we broke just a couple of minutes ago, Democrats, led by State Representative Robin Vining, who desperately wants to be a state senator, are trying to willfully violate the 14th Amendment by allocating $10 million a year in grant money, $5 million to hire mental health professionals in Wisconsin's public schools who are members of minority groups, Black, Hispanic, Native, Asian, Pacific Islander, everybody except white people. So if you want this job, you can't be white. It's discriminatory on its face. A second $5 million grant would be for anyone who is currently enrolled in an undergraduate or graduate social worker program and is also a member of a minority group. They would get a grant in order to pay for the remainder of their social worker education, because the idea is we don't have nearly enough social workers for the needs of our public school system. And in a general sense, I do agree with the need for more social workers. You can't give grants based on the fact that it's a Black social worker undergrad. You can't exclude someone from this grant because they're white. The Supreme Court was very clear 2 years ago. The 14th Amendment is crystal clear. And I'm glad the court in the Harvard case of 2023, which basically did away with all race-based admissions, is that if you want to get rid of discrimination, you have to get rid of all of it. You can't overcome past discrimination with more discrimination. Say, well, Black people were discriminated against in higher education 60 years ago, so now we're going to discriminate the hell out of white people. It does not work like that. Also unconstitutional. And I don't know whether there is this like splinter in the brains of elected Democrats that does not allow them to see this. that somehow it's okay to give someone a benefit based solely on their race while simultaneously excluding someone from that benefit by nothing more than their race. That is classic government discrimination, and it's unlawful. Once again, I'll reiterate, it's okay. Like, I report on this stuff now that has no chance, most likely. They're circulating the bill for co-sponsorship. We had another one yesterday, which was equally unconstitutional. There was a different Democrat bill that was circulating that would prohibit you, if you, say, attack a gay person or a trans person, it would prohibit you from raising the defense of adequate provocation, which means you were so provoked by whatever it is your victim did that you lost your mind and killed them, right? You were adequately provoked. The classic defense there is wife cheating on the husband. Husband kills the wife in a fit of passion. He claims adequate provocation. He caught her cheating, right? He was so offended. He was so provoked. Oftentimes, this is the attempt to raise this is if a black guy kills a white guy, he'll say, well, the white guy kept calling me the N-word. And that was adequate provocation. Rarely ever succeeds. You can also not claim self-defense if you kill or attack a gay or trans person. And you can't raise a not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect plea if you attack a gay person based solely on the fact that they were gay and, say, hitting on you, or you discover that they're trans while in the middle of, shall we say, getting intimate. That's unconstitutional. That violates Fifth Amendment rights of the accused. You can always raise that defense. Doesn't mean that a judge or a jury has to buy it. But you as the legislature can say, well, for this defendant, for this particular victim, you can't raise this defense. You kill one of those heteros, that's fine. You can claim that they attacked you. You can claim you were adequately provoked. You can claim to be totally nuts. You kill a gay person. You kill a trans person. Nope. Can't raise that defense. You're treating the exact same type of person, the exact same type of defendant, differently based on the victim. Okay? I still think hate crime legislation is not constitutional. I am in the distinct minority on this one because it punishes more severely the exact same crime, just based on the motivation. So if I kill Eric because he doesn't play the right commercial, okay, I would be charged with a less serious crime than if Eric was a different race and I kill him for playing the wrong commercial while shouting, "You stupid racial slur." Okay? I mean, I still killed him. Eric is still dead. I still should be going to prison for the rest of my life. Why are we treating this differently? It's easy to laugh at, well, okay, this stuff just has no chance of ever getting passed, right? For now. I don't think we contemplate how close these crazy people who don't care about the Constitution, who don't care about equal protection, who care far more about protecting certain classes of people and punishing others based on their belonging into a particular demographic group. We like to, that's you know, they're in the minority. They don't matter. Republicans still control the legislature. Folks, it can all be gone next November. I am just issuing that warning. It's what, June 3rd of 2025. By whatever election day is, I think it's November 6th, 2026, November 7th, maybe, it could all be Gone. All right. We do have to get to the crazy person that they just hired at UW-Madison. If you are looking to support a good, I dare say great group of student journalists, the UW-Madison Federalist, the conservative paper up there, these kids are doing incredible journalism. They have done another great story on the guy UW-Madison hired to replace their demoted, disgraced ex-DEI czar.
Summer in Wisconsin, short but spectacular, so you have to make the most of it. One way is to take advantage of the Summer of Fun deals available at newstalk1130.com. You'll have a blast with a deal like this one.
Available June 5th, the Heidel House Resort in Green Lake is a Wisconsin classic. Get a room for 2 nights and $200 in dining credit for just $400.
To buy your Summer of Fun deal, go to newstalk1130.com, click the events tab, and let the fun begin.
Hello, commercial truck customers. Michael Lynch here with exciting news. Our expanded state-of-the-art truck center is now complete. With 27 full-service bays and over 15 acres of parking, we're delivering faster service and a better customer experience than ever before. Our sales team, over 150 years of combined truck experience. That means no training your salesperson. We understand your business and speak your language. Our service department runs 2 full shifts, so we're turning wrenches long after others close. Working late so your trucks spend less time in the shop and more time on the road. Need a custom upfit? Done. Vehicle lettering? No problem. Want it delivered to your door? You got it. Completely contactless. We proudly offer Chevrolet, GMC, Hino, and Isuzu trucks. Ready for hauling, building, or delivering. Whatever you need, we've got the right truck right now. Come see the difference at Lynch Truck Center in Waterford or visit lynchtruckcenter.com. Give us a try. We won't disappoint you.
Let Tri-County Contracting take care of the outside of your home so you don't have to. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows from Tri-County Contracting. Call us at 262-679-6100 or visit us online at tricountycontractingwi.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family priced. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. I frequently speak with people who are unhappy with their landscaping and they're unsure how to turn things around. Well, here are 4 tasks that will make a remarkable improvement to dull landscaping. Number 1, thick, lush green grass. We need food and water to be healthy. Our lawn care programs and irrigation systems provide your grass with everything it needs to thrive. Number 2, pruning. Regular, technically correct pruning keeps plants strong and vibrant. Number 3, plant bed edging and a fresh layer of bark mulch. There's nothing better than the look of crisp bed edges and fresh mulch. Number 4, landscape lighting. You finally have your landscaping looking its best. A landscape lighting system lets your landscaping come alive after dark. So there you are, 4 landscaping tips that amplify the beauty of your home. Please call Seasonal Services at 262-392-3444 or look for us online at seasonalservices.com.
Restoring your home or business to its natural beauty is our only business. We are Wisconsin's most trusted carpet cleaner for over 75 years.
Edelman Carpet, Furniture, and Drapery Cleaning.
It's Edelman again. Edelman.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents. They know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
What would your community be like without UW-Madison? The UW is one of the country's leading hubs for supporting life-changing research. UW-Madison helps make a healthier Wisconsin, build strong businesses, and win the war for workforce talent, not just in Madison, but across our entire state. Visit uwalumni.com/UW4 to tell your legislators to support UW-Madison in the Wisconsin state budget. That's uwalumni.com/UW4. Paid for by the Wisconsin Alumni Association.
If your home needs new roofing, siding, windows, or doors, then call my friends at Weather Pro Exteriors. You see, big remodeling projects like these require a reliable contractor, and homeowners across Wisconsin trust Weather Pro Exteriors as they only use the highest quality building materials and certified professional installers. Call today and receive $1,000 off a full roof replacement plus a $200 Quick Trip gift card. Scheduled today at weatherproexteriors.com.
The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the man who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, Stories of Courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
You remember our good friend LeVar Charleston? He was the DEI czar at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, who was demoted earlier this year. Not fired, because it is truly impossible to fire anyone in the public sector, due to what the university called a pattern of poor decision-making. You and I would call it gross negligence and potential criminal overspending from the DEI department. They were spending far more on office supplies and travel than any other department in the entire school system. Well, they tried to comport with President Trump's executive order from earlier this year, which banned federal funding from any institution which has a DEI program. So what all of these leftist institutions, and we've been documenting all of them here on the Dan O'Donnell Show, it seems to be particularly pronounced in the medical community. What they've been doing is just renaming, say, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. They'll call it the Office of Belonging. And they'll just scrub the words diversity, equity, and inclusion, thinking that we conservatives must be so stupid that we don't know that they're doing the exact same. Boy, oh boy, I just ran a keyword search for the word equity, didn't find anything. Boy, they must have gotten rid of their DEI program. The conservative student publication, the Madison Federalist, which broke another big story earlier this year. In fact, we were just talking about their great reporting a couple of weeks ago here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. They found that the guy that is essentially replacing LeVar Charleston might even be crazier than Charleston. UW created a new position called Special Advisor for Access and Community. You see, not diversity and equity, access and community to, quote, advise leadership in the development of the university's overall plans regarding access and community. He is Professor and Associate Dean Percival Matthews. He will apparently report directly to the Chancellor and Provost. Now, Matthews currently leads the School of Education's Center for Community and Well-Being, which replaced the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. He also thinks math is racist and killing children. Last year, according to UWMadison Federalist, Matthews co-authored a paper called Fostering Diversity in Mathematics Cognition that criticized American mathematics education as, quote, arguably inherently violent towards black children. Do you remember that old joke? Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Turns out 7 beat up a whole lot of black kids. I don't, according to this guy, 7, how can math be inherently violent against people? These are not sane human beings. I feel like I'm losing my mind by pretending that Percival, we are all under the shared delusion that Percival Matthews is a serious thinker, that he has really come up with some great ideas about a lot of stuff. You want to hear his thoughts on the death of our good friend George Floyd? Let's go back to his Facebook post, May 27th, 2020. If the police can casually and slowly kill Greg Floyd out in the open, he thought his name was Greg at the time. I'll give him a pass. Even while they know they're being recorded, even after Eric Garner and an ex-police officer and son can casually chase down and kill Ahmaud Arbery and walk around for 2 months without the police so much as batting an eyebrow, then why not just post the signs, Negro hunting season? A legitimate, and he puts in parentheses, adverb use of violence can legitimate verb use of violence. I believe the word he's looking for is legitimize, not legitimate. There are a number of ways to read that sentence. Well, I mean, there's the way to read that sentence where it's freaking wrong grammatically and morally. He also posted 2 days later, and people are surprised that Minneapolis is burning. Let's take a look. Agents of the state spend several minutes torturing and taunting a black man to death as he begged, sobbed, and cried for his mother. Blah, 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 blah. So what should police do? Call the police? What should people do? Call the police, write the president, hope that the folks with Confederate battle flags and AR-15s at the state capitol might lend a hand? He's calling for violence, folks. And if that wasn't enough, he also apparently has a whole lot of resentment for his white students. November 13th, 2015. Occasionally, I grade a paper, and it's abundantly clear that even the most well-meaning left-leaning kid has some absolutely bleeped-up ideas about race. I mean, I think this was an earnest kid, but I have completely lost my bleep. I just need to quit and start over. First, I'm going to kiss my kid and pray that I'm successful in teaching her how to kick a lot of ass. He's got one part of that post right. He does need to quit. Percival Matthews, your new DEI czar. Math is violent. What you learned from Professor Matthews.
From the Lynch Truck Center in Waterford, Total Traffic Center.
35 minutes, 43 southbound between Brown Deer and the Marquette, slowing from Good Hope. On the 94 westbound, add another 15 to Moreland, and 4394 southbound to the Mitchell, taking 10 minutes. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond. From walk-in closets to new laundry rooms and pantries, our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
I'm Mark Belling, and my podcast is here, and I'm tackling the world. You can find me on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Type Mark Belling Podcast in the search and hang on for the ride.
The Mark Belling Podcast is presented by Uline Shipping and Industrial Supplies. Ship same day for fast delivery. Visit uline.com. Also supported by Charisma Customs. You can get the Mark Belling Podcast right now at iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Be here for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of the summer. Get your tickets at brewers.com.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood, or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Learn the secrets to create your own ultimate backyard retreat with Brett Ochtenhagen of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 1130 WISN. Learn more at seasonalservices.com.
Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we'll check in with our good buddy Dave Spano of Annex Wealth Management, daily Trump date as well, and much, much more. Right now, though, time to name the unhinged liberal of the day.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany. Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Make me crazy.
Trump is dangerous because he's evil. America is over.
Today's unhinged liberal of the day is UW-Madison's new DEI czar, who, of course, they're not calling a DEI czar, Percival Matthews. Last year, he co-authored a paper called Fostering Diversity in Mathematics Cognition, and he argued in said paper that America's math education system is, quote, arguably inherently violent toward black children. Congratulations, UW-Madison. You promoted yourself a winner. Percival Matthews, your unhinged liberal of the day. And kudos to the students at the UW-Madison Federalist for breaking the story of this cat's promotion. Great job, guys. Dave Spano after the news.
Listen to Benjamin Yount, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on News Talk 1130 WISN Milwaukee. And make WISN the #1 preset on your car radio and on the new iHeart app. Free never sounded so good.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. Police in Menominee Falls are still looking for the suspect they say fired a gun outside the FedEx building yesterday. Fox 6's Carl Deffenbaugh.
Police say there was an argument between employees when someone fired a gun and then ran away. No one was hit, and police say they know who that suspect is. There's no threat to the public at this point, but they're still looking for that person.
And the suspect accused in a terror attack in Colorado on Sunday is now facing 16 counts of attempted murder. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The victims at the incident location in Boulder were there to rally in support of Israeli hostages who remain in Hamas captivity. 12 were injured, including a Holocaust survivor. This is pure evil.
The 4 o'clock business report brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow was up today, 214 points. The NASDAQ gained 156, while the S&P rose 34. Checking the holiday automotive and Final Act Sports scoreboard. Brewers and Reds tonight in Cincinnati from the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center. I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Warm, windy, and hazy this afternoon with one round of thunderstorms, then another round expected heading into the evening. Gusty wind, hail, and heavy rain all possible. Drying out midday Wednesday with cooler temps in the 60s and 70s. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Blindster.com's Memorial Day Encore sale is your last chance to save up to 50% site-wide on custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. These deals end June 5th. Shop now at Blindster.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or our Brookfield store off I-94 and Blue Mound Road. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Water running back to your foundation due to settling concrete can lead to extremely expensive foundation repairs. Even mold and bacteria in your home.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
Puts existing concrete back to grade, keeping water away from your foundation for a fraction of patio or driveway replacement cost.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
For a free estimate today.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
Permanently fixes asphalt with state-of-the-art technology. Uneven sagging stairs and walkways are easily evened out for less than you are guessing with M to the U to the D to the T to the E to the C to the H.
262-337-0934.
The cost of having southeastern Wisconsin's premier concrete releveling and asphalt repair technicians at MudTech.
262-337-0934.
Restore your paved surfaces today is a fraction of the cost of replacement tomorrow. Call right now.
262-337-0934.
MudTechWorks.com.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. SNK, pump
wake me up to another good morning, time to go.
Hey, it's Jerry Butt. You know that feeling you get when you realize you're dealing with a company that cares about you, not just as a customer, but as a person? That's the overwhelming feeling I got when I bought my vehicle at Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. The Holiday staff was attentive, patient, totally engaged, and they listened. That inspires confidence, and confidence inspires trust.
Connect with Holiday's summer road trip sale. Score enticing offers and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC.
Oh, we are all looking for adventure.
Come be our guest. Take a test drive and get ready to travel the road ahead. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday.
Living free, and I was meant to be free. Meant to be free.
Holiday Automotive, Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com.
It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin-grown, healthy, and gorgeous lifelong perennial happiness is available right now.
Buy perennials directly from your grower right here in New Berlin.
Make every normal day abnormally beautiful. Prospect Hill, bloomsite.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today. You heard that right. Conquer the stair climber with your partner in climb. Enjoy a post-workout recovery session in the hydro massage and do it all again with access to any of our 2,700 convenient locations. So, you coming? Get all the perks with the PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Offer ends June 13th.
See Club for details.
Your home cleaning friend, it's Edelman again. Edelman.
WISN Milwaukee.
Hour number 2 of the Dan O'Donnell Show. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we have already had a winner. Very first time we played the little mini nationwide contest, the iHeartRadio Music Festival Win Before You Can Buy contest. WISN Radio had a winner. Ben Yount had the 9 a.m. winner today. Mario from Brookfield was listening to Ben. He texted in, and he won a trip for two to Las Vegas to see both nights of the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 19th and the 20th. He got airfare, hotel, tickets to the show, plus a $1,000 gift card. We are playing every day from now through next Tuesday when tickets to the festival go on sale to the general public. Mario is actually the first person in the world to get tickets. That's not totally true. I'm sure the CEO of our company, Bob Pittman, has tickets already. But my point is that he won the tickets before you can buy. We are playing every day from now until next Tuesday, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. For those of you who are good at math and don't believe that math is inherently violent against black children, something the new DEI czar at UWMadison argued in a paper last year, you will know that 1 hour from right now is your next chance to text in to win in the iHeartRadio Music Festival Flyaway contest. Right now, though, it is time to talk some finances, help you know the difference between financial advisors and know the difference between fiscal health for a nation and fiscal insanity. Guess which one we are currently in. It's Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex Wealth Management. And Dave, it's nice that the rest of the country is finally catching up with the two of us, because we have been talking about the unsustainable debt load for at least 5 years. I think even longer than that. We have been talking about the national debt and what a ticking time bomb it is. But now you've got Elon Musk talking about the fact that the one big beautiful bill spends too much. You have got the Trump White House fighting back against those allegations. Everyone, it seems, is focused on the national debt. Miracle of miracles. We have even got the Democratic Party now concerned about the national debt. This is amazing. Everybody has finally gotten on our level, Dave.
Well, that is. You and I have been talking about this for a long time, and here we have Elon Musk saying that cutting spending is not rocket science. In fact, it's much harder. It's easier to send humans to Mars than it is to find wasteful spending in the federal government. And he's going to go back and do that, called it an abomination of the bill that we saw. So the one big beautiful bill is getting a lot of pushback, as you said, from lots of folks. And we saw folks like Ray Dalio, who is a famous hedge fund manager. He's coming out with a book next week that talks about how a country goes broke. And one of the things he's pointing to, Dan, is spending. So we have a $28 trillion economy. And so we bring in about $5 trillion in revenue. We spend about $7 trillion. That's a $2 trillion deficit. If you take $2 trillion over $28 trillion, I don't want to give anybody a headache here, that's 7% of spending. He's saying that if you spend more than 3% of spending, you are on your way. He said in the next 3 years, we could have a fiscal heart attack. And we also heard Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan chairman, said the same thing, that we're likely going to see a crack in the bond market. So this big, beautiful bill should really talk about some spending cuts.
Yeah, Elon Musk said that he's actually had it with Washington. He said, I'm sorry, I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Yikes. Say one thing about Musk. He is never afraid to say what he means and mean what he says. And in large measure, he is right. This bill does spend way too much money, as we are finding out. Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex Wealth Management. Always a pleasure, Dave. Check out the wonderful work they do, annexwealth.com. It is just after 4 o'clock, and that means it's time to get you updated on all the things going on in the Trump White House. It is our Daily Trump Date.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Well, a whole lot of winning for the Trump administration.
We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
As I just said, Elon Musk sparking a firestorm of media scrutiny with that tweet saying that it's a pork-filled abomination, the one big, beautiful bill that the Trump White House has been trying to get through Congress for some time. The House passed it by a single vote. It is now in the hands of the Senate, where it faces stiff opposition led by Wisconsin's own Ron Johnson. Today, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, said that Elon is just flat wrong about the bill. Meanwhile, the House has just received the first DOGE cuts request from the White House. Speaker Johnson, in a press gaggle just a couple of minutes ago, said the House will bring the package to the floor as quickly as possible. Those DOGE cuts total $9.4 billion. And what this means, this isn't the $9.4 billion out of $175 billion. This would be permanent cuts. The House would codify that, meaning that the temporary cut to spending that DOGE recommended and the White House might or might not have been able to enact would be permanent moving forward. Because Congress has the power of the purse, in order to make a spending cut permanent, Congress needs to sign off on it. Meanwhile, ICE has taken the wife and 5 children of the Boulder, Colorado terrorist into custody today. Mohammed Soleiman remains in ICE custody after he was arrested for attacking elderly Jewish people, mostly little old ladies who are marching in solidarity with the with the hostages still held by terrorists from Hamas. In her White House press briefing today, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt placed the blame for this atrocity squarely on the immigration policies of the Biden administration.
This tragedy is a sobering reminder of the consequences of the Biden administration's failed policies. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the Boulder suspect is an Egyptian national who was in the United States illegally. He entered the U.S. during the Biden administration in August 2022 on a B-2 visa until it expired. Upon the visa expiration, he overstayed, filed an asylum claim, and was given a work authorization by the Biden administration. Instead of deporting this heinous individual, Joe Biden's administration allowed him to stay in our country and to work. President Trump sounded the alarm over these reckless Biden policies for years because this is the predictable result of letting anti-American radicals and illegal immigrants pour into our country.
We will have much more on this and Biden-era immigration policy as it pertains to politics, as we hear from the border czar, Tom Homan, coming up in just a second. Leavitt, during the White House press briefing today, was asked whether President Trump was going to make a proclamation declaring June to be Pride Month.
Does the president have any plans on making a proclamation, or is it just going to be June this year?
Well, there are no plans for a proclamation for the month of June, but I can tell you this president is very proud to be a president for all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed.
Now, see, that's very disappointing to me because as a proud Wisconsinite, as someone who's proud of who I am authentically me. I'm proud of that. I'm deeply disappointed in the president. He should proclaim it to be National Dairy Month. June is National Dairy Month, okay? Say it loudly, say it proudly, fly your white and black cow-spotted flag for National Dairy Month. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Daily Trump Day. No real surprise, by the way, that the president isn't going to declare it Pride Month. It still blows my mind. We have the people were asking for all of the different days, all of the different LGBTQIA plus minus ampersand $ days and weeks and months. It totals 155 different days of a 365-day calendar are dedicated in some form or fashion to the LGBTQIA plus minus equal sign divided by X ampersand community. 42% of the year is dedicated to some sort of Pride Day. And these are the same people who constantly complain that they don't have enough visibility. What are they? Are they shooting for half the year? Come on, keep it up. Invent new sexualities, people, and you'll get even more visibility with even more days. I would love to see a National Dairy Month proclamation from the president. I think all proud Wisconsin, those of us who are out in support of dairy, are demanding this. I mean, we're here, we're clear, we love our milk and beer. This should be the Wisconsin chant, because we are just so doggone proud, right? Like, look at Stonewall. Just past that stone wall, there's all those cows grazing, right? National Dairy Month. It's the only thing that we are marking this month. Tom Homan, this was a while ago, America's border czar, was asked why he wasn't really prompted, but this clip is making the rounds once again on social media. And I felt the need to highlight it because it speaks volumes about why we are where we are with respect to illegal immigration in this country. Why the Biden administration was flying illegals in the dead of night, mostly, all across the country, instead of just putting them into ICE detention centers, or instead of just beefing up ICE detention center staffing using maybe not eminent domain, but leasing out spaces near the border to put detainees, why they were sending them all over to swing states, weirdly, disproportionately, and putting them up in hotels. Well, Homan didn't mince words. He said it's rather obviously to get them there and get them in a position to be naturalized and become legal citizens the next time there's a Democrat administration and a Democrat Congress to pass amnesty.
You know, the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States. No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings can be 5, 7, 9 years. You pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can warrant amnesty to millions. This is about selling this country off for future political power. That's what it was. The law clearly says if you arrive at our border without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over. That's what the law says, and that's what we've done.
Biden didn't. Anyone who thinks that allowing that many people into this country when all it took was a new administration to actually enforce America's laws, to completely shut down the border, when we were told for 4 years, first of all, we were told there is no border crisis. Then we were told, well, we need legislation in order to have the Biden administration actually enforce the border. Then we were told Donald Trump, when he was running for president, made the passage of said legislation impossible because he stuck his beak in and made it impossible for Republicans to vote for it. So it's really Trump's fault that the border is wide open. These were all the excuses for it. Trump came in by March. Border crossings had dropped to near zero. Border crossings have dropped by about 97% year over year. How is that possible? Because we had an administration for 4 years who wanted as many illegals in this country as humanly possible. It was refusing to follow federal law to get as many into this country as humanly possible. And why? What other possible reason could there be? Oh, they're all here to do the jobs that Americans won't do? Come on. Why were you flying them to Ohio? Why were you flying them to Whitewater, Wisconsin? How are there 2,000 Nicaraguans suddenly in Whitewater? That has nothing to do with how they or their children might vote. Okay. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're allowing them into the interior of their country where they may or may not get hearings for their bogus asylum claims. Whereas if they had stayed in ICE custody, they are mandated to get a hearing within a short period of time, where they will, of course, be rejected and sent right back home. It was a choice. It was a policy decision based, I think, on what Democrats have been saying rather openly for the past quarter century, that illegal immigration is going to make Democrats a permanent majority eventually. That eventually Texas was going to turn blue and that was going to be it. Republicans would not possibly be able to win the presidency. Then the most hilariously karmic thing happened. Democrats got so crazy that all of those Hispanic voters that they thought were just going to naturally flock to them became arch conservatives and started voting for Trump. You know why? Because they really hate illegal immigration. American citizens who were born in Central and South America, they don't want people. Do you know who absolutely despises illegal immigration the most, a legal immigrant, someone who waited in line, who cherished citizenship in this country above all things, finally got it, and sees someone just waltzing across the border because of a thirst for political power by a political party. They are put to the front of the line all the while. This person just waiting and hoping that one day they'll be a citizen, doing everything right, seeing someone just waltz across the Rio Grande and get put up in a $500 a night hotel. Coming up next, we're talking a little bit about Pride Month. It sure seems as though it's losing its luster. It seems as though not as many public entities are taking part in the festivities. Most recently, the Wisconsin Historical Society. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is a big problem with that. We'll get into that coming up next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend Total Traffic Center.
Solid southbound on the Rock Freeway from the Hale Interchange to Layton, where you got a crash block in the right lane, a half hour down to Highway 164. 43 southbound taking a half hour from Brown Deer to the Marquette with delays from Silver Spring. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Blindster.com's Memorial Day Encore sale is your last chance to save up to 50% site-wide on custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. These deals end June 5th. Shop now at Blindster.com.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One is coming back to Las Vegas.
And you can win your way to be there.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com. But starting June 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only, or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet? Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Presented by Capital One.
I'm Dr. Jennifer Grieve at Reset Restore MD IV Ketamine Therapy Centers. IV ketamine is superior to ketamine lozenges. If you suffer with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, listen to real R&R MD patient feedback.
My treatments helped greatly reduce and eliminate my chronic back pain.
I've tried many therapies for depression, and this has been the most impactful. The environment is relaxing, and the staff are incredibly kind.
Amazing, life-changing, wonderful. Dr. Jennifer changed my life for the better with ketamine infusions.
R&R MD helped me deal with anxiety and be more calm with hectic things going on. Years of talk therapy can't do what this did in a few sessions.
Intravenous ketamine infusions take about an hour at our Brookfield or Mequon R&R MD locations. Relief can continue for weeks, months, even a lifetime. R&R for Relief, Reset Restore MD, rnrmd.com. That's rnrmd.com.
I'm Fred Schwertfeger, president at Horicon Bank. We've been a family and employee-owned full-service community bank for over 125 years. Speaking of family, today I'm here with Horicon Bank's financial analyst and my sister, Alex Solanke, to talk about our noteworthy community involvement.
When it comes to connecting with our communities, Horicon Bank walks the walk. With 24 locations in 18 communities across Wisconsin, that's a lot of investment. From Appleton to Horicon to New Berlin, we can be found supporting fundraisers, art, nature, financial literacy, you name it.
Here in the Milwaukee area, we're involved with nonprofit organizations like WIBIC and the Milwaukee Parks Foundation. Visit the Milwaukee County Zoo's Flamingo Patio and you'll see Horicon Bank banners flying high as the proud sponsor.
Our vision is together doing good, and we are excited to be here doing good for our customers, employees, and communities. Fly higher with Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Stop by or learn more at horiconbank.com. Member FDIC.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
A Generac automatic standby generator that kicks right in when your power goes out is great peace of mind. Get a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac dealer, Generator Supercenter. Go to GeneratorSupercenterofLakeCountry.com.
Is your home or business looking a little dirty? Blue Line brings back the sparkle with window cleaning, gutter cleaning, and pressure washing, so your property shines again. Don't let grime or clogged gutters drag your curb appeal down. Blue Line makes everything fresh and spotless without the hassle. Get your free estimate today at BlueLineWW.com. That's BlueLineWW.com, because a cleaner property starts here. Blue Line, quality you can trust, results you can see.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management, know the difference. Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show.
We will get to the Wisconsin Historical Society acting like a historical society and not an advocacy group, and not putting up a pride flag this year for the first time since 2019. I don't know why this is a story, but it was in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. They thought it was news that the Historical Society didn't put up a pride flag. Are they sending like Dan Bice out to every single state entity and business to see if they have a pride flag up? It's sort of like that old Seinfeld episode. He's not wearing the ribbon. Why won't you wear the ribbon? Why won't you put up the rainbow flag, Wisconsin Historical Society? I do want to get there. Eventually, we have to get to this. In the least surprising breaking news I could possibly present to you, Milwaukee Public Schools has missed yet another deadline to report its finances to the State Department of Public Instruction. How is this possible? I have never seen a less competent group of people. The only explanation at this point, unless honestly there is a combined IQ in the 4,000 strong MPS central office staff of about 75, the only thing that makes sense to me is that they're covering up something. They still have not adequately explained how they've spent that nearly $1 billion in COVID relief. I suspect, and this has long been my suspicion, that they're holding back a big portion of it, like Governor Evers in his own personal slush fund, that they're basically holding on to a whole ton of money that they were supposed to be spending. Now, you know what? I have no proof of that. Because nobody does. Nobody knows how they've spent the money because they refuse to report on it. So I could just make up anything I want about how MPS is spending the money, and they would have no way to refute me because I'm convinced they don't even know. Tom McCarthy, the deputy state superintendent, said today that MPS missed its latest deadline, which was Friday afternoon, May 30th. It's not yet clear how much state funding will be withheld or what the district will have to do to recoup those funds. McCarthy says that will be shared in a letter in the coming days. according to jsonline.com. Spokesman for MPS, Stephen Davis, said the district expects to submit financial information in the coming days and has been assured state aid can be released quickly after the information is reviewed. We expect any withholding of funds to be temporary and will not interrupt services to students in any way. This comes the day after the new superintendent, Brenda Cassellius, put out her new budget, $1.5 billion MPS is going to spend next year. $1.5 billion with a B. They are the worst school district in America at educating black children. That's not me saying this. This is not an opinion. This is according to the latest national testing. Black fourth grade students ranked last in the United States in both reading and math. MPS's performance was so bad that Wisconsin is the worst state in America at educating black fourth graders. And I don't think I need to tell you how bad this is and why fourth grade testing is so critical. They do fourth grade and eighth grade on the AEDPA testing or whatever the national test is called. Results were just released in January. If students are far behind, if they are not at grade level by fourth grade, it is very difficult for them to ever catch up and to ever have a prayer of matching their peers. And if they're simply passed along, even though they can't read, even though they can't do basic math skills, the thing about both reading and math is that they're sort of building block skills, that basic skills form the foundation for more advanced skills. And if you don't have the basics, you're never going to be able to get the higher level concepts. And it's only natural that a fourth grader, a fifth grader, a sixth grader, they're just going to tune out. They're going to stop coming to school. They're going to, what are you looking at me in there? You look like you have something to say, producer Eric. NAEP, thank you. NAEP is the National Assessment of Educational Progress. Thank you, producer Eric. Do appreciate that. That's the standardized test that shows that Wisconsin's black students are the worst in the nation. I don't think I need to tell you the single biggest educator of black children in the state of Wisconsin is Milwaukee Public Schools. They're spending millions of dollars on lead abatement after they're finding lead in the drinking water. How much money has MPS gotten in lead abatement over the past few decades? This is why I have a very difficult time believing a single thing that they say when it comes to finances. What do taxpayers get? They just got a $250 million referendum. DPI coincidentally waited until just after to first announce that MPS never bothered to submit required financial reporting the previous September when it was first due. It took them years to get the 2023 reporting done, but then they never bothered to get 2024 done. State audit now. Devin LeMahieu, Robin Voss, audit this organization. Use the Legislative Audit Bureau, look into it, figure out how they are This can't be chalked up to incompetence anymore. I'm sorry, but it can't. If Davis would like to, he's got my email address. If he would like to explain to me, or anybody else would like to explain to me with a straight face how it's that difficult to report to the state how you are spending your money. My goodness, I have a detailed accounting of pretty much I get notifications on my watch whenever one of my kids spends money at Quick Trip. Okay? And I'm not beholden to taxpayers. I don't have a fiduciary duty to keep track of all of my spending because what I'm spending is the public's treasure. I'm not surprised. Let's just put it that way. I am not surprised at all MPS missed another deadline, but it doesn't make it any more tolerable that I've just come to expect the worst from what I have repeatedly called the single worst school district in the United States of America.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Southbound on 894 at Beloit, you got a crash block in the right shoulder onto the southbound Rock Freeway, slammed from the Hale interchange to Layton, where you got a crash that blocks the right lane. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Blindster.com's Memorial Day Encore sale is your last chance to save up to 50% site-wide on custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. These deals end June 5th. Shop now at Blindster.com.
Hey, Dan here for Weather Pro Exteriors, a family-owned and operated place that will take care of you with your residential or commercial roofing project. They do siding, they do windows, exterior doors, gutter replacement and installation, and they install only the very best products to ensure the job is done right the first time. Owens Corning Roofing, James Hardy Siding, Provia Doors, Weather Pro Windows, Velux Skylights. These are the best in their class. They serve Southeast and Northeast Wisconsin, from Milwaukee to Green Bay, the Fox Valley, and more. And you need to work with them because they're family owned and operated. And that means that they're deeply invested in your project, as invested as you are. They're certified licensed installers, and you can trust them to get the job done and get the job done right. So right now, you need to get your project started by heading to weatherproexteriors.com. That's weatherproexteriors.com.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Badger Care, a Humana dual eligible special needs plan, a DSNP may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $175 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care PPO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with Wisconsin Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Sick of all the homeowner headaches? Tired of being a landlord? Did you inherit a property? Go to MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com. We are a local family business, A+ with the BBB. It will make you a fair as-is cash offer within 24 hours. No fees, just cash. MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com.
The storm chasers are circling. It's Jay, and you'll probably encounter them given the recent severe weather here. I've gotten a few calls just because hail dropped in my area. But if your roof is damaged, understand that they'll be gone and into the next town, and you'll be out of luck when you need warranty work done or aren't satisfied with their job. Some of them also try to pressure you into signing a contract on the spot. It's better to go with Semper Fi, a trusted local roofer whose business model is literally, will be that standout company. Semper Fi offers a fast, free 21-point roof inspection and estimate, world-class customer service, and skilled installation by trained and tested work crews. They also offer a 15-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And yes, Semper Fi works with all insurance companies. This is the roof on your home. It's too important to take a chance on a roving roofer. Call Semper Fi Roofing today, 262-600-2910. That's 262-600-2910, or go online to semperfiroofing.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here. Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year. More impressive is Victor Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024. It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards. It's not boastful considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know two attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare. Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case.
Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters,
often our adversaries,
refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation.
Injured? It is about the money.
Warshawski.com.
That's Warshawski.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info is protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the man who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, Stories of Courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
I don't know why MPS in particular just ticks me off with their refusal to. It just seems deliberate. It just is so in your face. On Friday, okay, for those who missed the last segment, MPS missed yet another deadline to submit. It's comical at this point. It is, honest to goodness, comical. Friday was the latest deadline to just submit your 2024 financial reporting. It's June 2025. We are 5 months into 2025. By the end of this month, 2025 will be half over. It's hard to believe. I know. Eric has given me a little like, ooh, yeah. Has it been that long working with me? Although you came on, when did Cronforst quit? You started training like as soon as I started in the afternoon in early January, but we didn't let you fly solo until what, May 1st? April, was it May 1st? Yeah, because Belling's podcast started on May 1st and Cronforst had enough. I mean, 35 years of getting berated by Mark. It turns out I made him cry like a little girl. He was in his office right next to mine, just sobbing no, I'm kidding. Paul, we love you. Happy birthday. It is Paul's birthday today, believe it or not. You want to know a weird coincidence? He shares a birthday with my daughter. My daughter is celebrating a birthday today. And my very first talk show producer, Armin, who's now on 97.3 The Game, shares a birthday in August with my younger son. Just a weird coincidence that everybody who produces for me has the same birthday. Your birthday is not in September, is it? No, it's November. We established this yesterday. Wait. Let's see if I can remember. November 10th? Boom. See, every so often, I've got a good memory, producer Eric. It's only the year that hurts. It's not in the 60s, is it? It is. No, you're turning 55 this year. Oh, man. As only a true radio man can, he just told me that he'll be out of the 25 to 54 demo. That's gotta hurt. You're up in the 35 to 64s now. Hey, we here at the Dan O'Donnell Show dominate both demographics, so we welcome you with open arms. Eric. Milwaukee Public Schools put out one of the most hilarious statements on Friday afternoon when they were asked, hey, It's been a couple of years. You guys finally going to get up to date on your financial reporting with the state of Wisconsin? Deadline's today. We'll have to see. It's a long day. We could get it done. Yeah. Like anybody at MPS central office is working hard on a Friday afternoon in the summertime. Yeah. Here we are, June 3rd, and we are still waiting for the 2024 reports. I am dead serious. I demand a legislative audit of MPS's finances. I think Democrats and Republicans alike should get behind this. And frankly, if MPS is so derelict in its duties, I have no problem with the State Department of Public Instruction. As incompetent and nuts as Jill Underly is right now, I have no problem with her taking over control of MPS. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. Brand new superintendent, Brenda Cassellius, just started, a month or two ago. You talk about inheriting a ship that has already hit an iceberg. It's that. And there's a reason that she was passed over for both. She's from the Twin Cities. Would you believe that both the Minneapolis and St. Paul school districts passed her over? She had a disastrous tenure in Boston, in which you talk about she actually did cry in front of subordinates because the pressure of the job was too much for her to handle. Now, maybe she was going through some stuff in her personal life. I don't know. And as I said, even the cold-hearted conservative Dan O'Donnell is willing to give the benefit of the doubt here. But frankly, the rest of MPS's leadership has been abysmal for 40 years now. Now Wisconsin is a national laughingstock. In fact, I wrote about this, my latest column. I've got it up at Dan O'Donnell Show on X and on Facebook. Mississippi was long the nation's whipping boy when it came to health stats, education stats. Oh, Mississippi last in the nation again. Do you realize that Mississippi is now performing much better than Wisconsin on the national standardized test? They spend a fraction of what Wisconsin does on education per pupil. But they reintroduced phonics in early childhood education. They mandated that there are reading interventions that happen. They have reading specialists that will work with first, second graders to get them ready for third grade. If they are not proficient in reading by third grade, they repeat the third grade. That's also mandated. Think anybody in Wisconsin in the Wisconsin educational bureaucracy, I should say, would put up with that? Of course not. It's worked. It's called the Mississippi Miracle. When you adjust for demographics, poverty, and so forth, Mississippi is now first in the nation in fourth grade reading, fourth grade math, and I believe it's eighth grade math. They're fourth in the nation in eighth grade reading. They were last in everything about a decade and a half ago. They turned it around because of a return to the basics, a return to teaching reading the way reading has been taught for eons. You teach the grammatical rules. You don't teach creative spelling. You don't teach kids that letters are racist. You teach phonics. And if they can't grasp that, you work with them, you separate them out from the rest of the class and do one-on-one or small group reading. It works. And if they're not able to read at grade level by third grade, they repeat the third grade, because just passing them along gets them further and further and further behind because they haven't grasped the basic necessary concepts. Seriously, read. If Wisconsin wants to succeed educationally, follow Mississippi's lead. It's my latest column, McIver Institute. Check it out at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We will be right back with the unsung hero of the day right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Conservative thought, not just talk. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch GM Superstore in Burlington Total Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Blindster.com's Memorial Day Encore sale is your last chance to save up to 50% site-wide on custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. These deals end June 5th. Shop now at Blindster.com.
Dan O'Donnell here with my friend Daniel from Bayview Shade and Blind. Daniel, I love the work you guys did at our new home, and more importantly, my wife loves it too.
Appreciate that, Dan. We work with folks who really value having a trusted guide to walk them through the whole process, from choosing the right window treatments to professional installation. That's how we do it at Bayview Shade.
And you know what, Daniel? It really shows. Go to BayviewShade.com. They're sharing a little sunshine from their family to yours for 99 years.
We use powerful truck-mounted carpet cleaning units designed to remove even the toughest dirt, and certified cleaning technicians who understand the definition of clean.
Edelman Carpet, Furniture, and Drapery Cleaning.
It's Edelman again. Edelman.
It's home-style cooking prepared and served by people you'll want to call your friends. That's the Sawmill Restaurant and Pub just off Holy Hill Road and Highway 41 in Richfield. Check out the menu at sawmillpub.com and then head on out for one of the best dining experiences you've ever had.
Divergent Family Law is experienced attorneys dotting every I, crossing every T, assuring you carry all of the assets and custodial rights you are legally entitled to down your new life path. Divergent Family Law, separate and equal or better. DivergentFamilyLaw.com.
iHeartRadio just gave driving an upgrade with Presets, now on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Your go-to stations, podcasts, and playlists, all just a tap away on your dash. Start your engine, hit play, and drive happy. Free with iHeartRadio on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement, cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGOTREES.com.
Do you know what the scariest sound to hear in a factory floor is? Silence. That means something somewhere broke. Production has stopped, and now you're paying your workers to wait while the team troubleshoots and tries to fix the problem. Finally, there's a proactive way to reduce equipment downtime, thanks to MaintainX. MaintainX is the asset management system that brings your maintenance downtime to zero. MaintainX lets you build preventative maintenance schedules, manage work orders in real time, and access the data you need to make better decisions. Downtime equals death in the production world, so make unplanned downtime a thing of the past. Try MaintainX for free. Control the daily operations of your business and transform your maintenance program by going to maintainx.com. That's maintain and the letter X.com.
I don't have time for a home project this year. I don't want to deal with the home improvement dragging on and on. It doesn't have to. Hi, Colleen with Tri-County Contracting. If a new roof is needed this year, we can make the entire project move quickly and be worry-free. No responsibility will be on your shoulders. We'll take care of everything. Worry-free roofing is an instant roof quote button right on our website, TriCountyContracting.wi.com. Name, address, and email, and you will have your price. Worry-free roofing is a fast and easy estimate process. Worry-free roofing is out with that old, tired, leaking roof and in with a new, beautiful, dimensional shingle roof. Worry-free roofing is a quick and annoyance-free roof install. No material or dumpster sitting for days or weeks. Most homes are completed in just one day. Worry-free roofing is a lifetime product warranty and a lifetime workmanship warranty. It's also getting free enrollment in the Every Year Inspection Program, where you get a free roof inspection and maintenance every year for 10 years. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
This is where sycophants and chills are shunned, and commitment to the unvarnished truth is sustained. Just one reason that this is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130, WISN.
In about 7 minutes, you are going to want to be right here for your chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas, the iHeartRadio Music Festival Win Before You Can Buy contest, plus $1,000 trip to Vegas and $1,000 to blow on slots. Now, go see a Cirque du Soleil show or something in the afternoon, because both nights you are going to be entertained by the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Your chance to win already had a winner. Very first time we played the contest, Ben Yount had the 9 a.m. winner, Mario from Brookfield. We want another one at 5 o'clock. Right now, though, it is time to name the unsung hero of the day, presented by Blue Line Cleaning Services, residential and commercial cleaning done by professionals. Today's unsung heroes of the day are the UWMadison conservative students who founded the Madison Federalist. It currently exists as a Substack, madisonfederalist.substack.com. You can sign up for emails from this group of students. It was just founded in October, and already they are doing some fantastic journalism, including a story that we relayed in the 3 o'clock hour today. The university replacing Chief Diversity Officer LeVar Charleston with Professor and Associate Dean Percival Matthews, who last year co-authored a paper in which he argued that the math education system in this country is, quote, arguably inherently violent toward Black children. They're actually doing journalism, something that not many in Madison can say. The students behind the Madison Federalist, your unsung heroes of the day.
Listen to Clay and Buck, weekdays 11 to 2 on News Talk 1130 WISN Milwaukee. And make WISN the #1 preset on your car radio and on the new iHeart app. Free never sounded so good.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. Police in Menominee Falls are still looking for the suspect they say fired a gun outside the FedEx building yesterday. Fox 6's Carl Deffenbaugh.
Police say there was an argument between employees when someone fired a gun and then ran away. No one was hit, and police say they know who that suspect is. There's no threat to the public at this point, but they're still looking for that person.
And the suspect accused in a terror attack in Colorado on Sunday is now facing 16 counts of attempted murder. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The victims at the incident location in Boulder were there to rally in support of Israeli hostages who remain in Hamas captivity. 12 were injured, including a Holocaust survivor. This is pure evil.
Some of the family members of the man charged in that fire attack on Israeli hostage supporters have now also been arrested by ICE. And a car slammed into an apartment complex near 27th and Layton in Greenfield this morning. Nobody, including the driver, was injured. Checking the Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac Sports Scoreboard, Brewers look for their 8th straight win tonight against the Reds in Cincinnati. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
The first round of thunderstorms has moved out. We are expecting another round this evening. Strong winds are again possible. Moderate rain overnight through noon on Wednesday. 72 inland on Wednesday, 66 near the lake. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Tom Walks.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
You got to get to Built Right today. Dan here for my friends at Built Right Furniture. Built Right's extended Memorial Day mattress sale ends Saturday at 6 p.m. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box national or local chain store, employee free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right has the best value selection and most experienced team in Wisconsin, over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands made in the USA: Heirloom, Therapeutic, Restonic, Schiffman, and Gold Bond. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, and heavy-duty mattresses. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $799 or more. Built Right saves you money. Voted best place to shop and open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Dan sent you to Built Right at 54th and Layton in Greenfield.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball and get a Jackson Churio jersey on Saturday the 7th. Get your seats at brewers.com.
We're the Libby family
at Do-It-Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
Bathrooms and kitchens are our specialty.
We use real wood cabinets and quartz tops to make beautiful rooms you will love for many, many years.
And our experts really know their stuff.
Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do-It-Yourself.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Verneri award-winning home renovating.
Go Wall Investment Group, now Creative Planning, is a registered investment advisor. Now for your business report from Creative Planning. For informational purposes only, past performance is not indicative of future results.
Good afternoon. I'm Certified Financial Planner John White with your closing business report. The major averages climbed higher today as gains in AI leader NVIDIA, along with other chip stocks, help advance the drive. While investors anticipate details on potential trade deals, the United States wants countries to give their best offers on trade by Wednesday. Elsewhere, shares of Ford Motors climbed 2% after the automaker reported a 16.3% year-over-year sales increase by May, amid companies' employees' pricing program promotions after auto tariffs on imported vehicles took effect in early April. On the day, the Dow was up 214 points to close at 42,519. The S&P 500 is up 34 points, and the NASDAQ is up 156 points. From Creative Planning, I'm John White.
Right now, your chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas and $1,000. It's the iHeartRadio Music Festival Win Before You Can Buy contest. It is a text-in contest this time. Here's what's at stake. 2 tickets to the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 19th and 20th. You get round-trip airfare. You get hotel. you get tickets to the show, and you get $1,000 gift card. We're playing 3 times a day from today through a week from today, Tuesday, June 10th. It's just a very quick contest designed to raise awareness as we release this year's lineup for the iHeartRadio Music Festival. And then tickets go on sale, I believe, next week, Wednesday. Right now, we have a chance for you to win and win big. All you need to do is text the keyword music, MUSIC, to 200-200 by 55 past this hour. If you choose to enter the contest, you will get a confirmation text and information. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. Yes, I am legally required to read that disclaimer. Text the keyword music to 200-200 by 55 past. You'll be entered, and you could win $1,000, a trip to Vegas, and 2 tickets to the iHeartRadio Music Festival. It is by far the coolest prize that we have each year. We'll do it later on this year, but if you want to get first crack and get that $1,000 in your pocket, get that gift card as quick as you possibly can, enter now. Text the word music to 200-200. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen, for a Pride Month update? I think we are.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
The employees of the Wisconsin Historical Society are furious and sent a letter to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel because their CEO wouldn't fly the pride flag at the Historical Society's headquarters in Madison. According to the JS Online report, the pride flag has flown over the building each June since at least 2019. Spokesperson. Okay. If you were hiring a spokesperson, what do you think the worst possible last name for said spokesperson could be? Deaf mute, says producer Eric. How about lies? The spokesperson for the Wisconsin Historical Society, who I'm sure is a wonderful woman and may pronounce her name Lies. Her name is Colleen Lies. Lies. So Colleen Lies swears that this statement is true. Colleen lies. She told Madison 365, as a nonpartisan agency, the Society does not participate in advocacy outside of that mission. With that in mind, we have chosen not to raise any flags on our agency's flagpoles that can be perceived as an act of advocacy. Now, a group of more than a dozen Historical Society employees sent a letter to the Journal-Sentinel describing their disappointment in the decision, writing, quote, "We know what Colleen said, but Colleen lies." No, I made that one up. They requested anonymity out of fear of retribution from management. Yeah, Colleen lies. She swears she won't retaliate against you, but, you know, Colleen lies. The Journal-Sentinel independently verified the authenticity of the letter. Oh, yeah. Regular group of sleuths down there at the Journal-Sentinel. They wrote, "Many of us are disappointed, angry, and fearful when we learned that the Wisconsin Historical Society would not raise the pride flag outside of our headquarters this year." What could you possibly be fearful of? I'm not saying the LGBTQ community has a credibility problem, but when you're scared of everything, when everything will lead to some sort of trans genocide and terrifies you, it makes us normies think that you might have some serious mental issues. Our CEO, they write, has said this move doesn't signal a retreat from supporting the LGBTQ plus community, but many of us are that community. And we are stating this plainly. Refusing to fly the pride flag is in itself a step back. It is impossible to separate a symbol from the people it represents. Would you believe I am still not sure I could name everything that's on the Wisconsin state flag? I know there's like a minor guy. It says 1848 on it somewhere. I know it's blue. That flag represents me. It's pretty possible to separate me from it. They continue. We are incredibly proud of the tremendous work that our colleagues have done and are currently doing to honor the history of LGBTQ plus Wisconsinites. Our CEO's decision to no longer raise the pride flag dishonors that work and that history. His actions have eroded trust within the LGBTQ plus community, including partners who help us fulfill our mission of collecting, preserving, and sharing history. Now, it will be up to WHS staff to repair those relationships and the damage this has caused. They are that fragile. Say this about the gays. They do have a flair for the dramatic. I will give them credit for that. It is on us to repair the damage that you're not putting up our flag. All right, that's your Pride Month update for today. It's a flag. It's a flag. I get it. Nobody raised the stupid flag before about 2013. Okay? We're doing just fine. Look, I'm trying to... Wisconsin Historical Society, you know what? I've got a message for these employees. It's frankly scaring me that you're not demanding to raise my white and black cow-spotted flag for National Dairy Month. Look, we are proud. We are out in our pride of Wisconsin's dairy history. And for the Wisconsin Historical Society not to raise a dairy flag in support of National Dairy Month, I honestly think that that is perpetuating a genocide against Wisconsin's dairy farmers. No. I mean, it hasn't actually killed any of them, but it's genocidal behavior. It's a genocide because we're slightly bothered by it. It's making us less visible in our 155 days are dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community. I'm Irish. I get one day, St. Patrick's Day. And everybody reduces my people to a fun little caricature of a leprechaun saying they're always after me, Lucky Charms. And everybody goes out and gets hammered because the one thing that we all can agree about with the Irish people is that they have horrible, horrible alcoholism. A caller didn't want to go on the air, but said he just became a member of the Wisconsin Historical Society. I think I am a member, actually. I was at one point because I got a discount to go to Old World, Wisconsin. And since the CEO is so embattled right now because he's not flying the pride flag, I'm going to give an unsolicited plug for Old World, Wisconsin, which is a whole lot of fun. It's a great event, or it's a great place to go with the kids. Even if you don't have kids, their historical Santa Claus visit at Christmas time we did one year. It was a whole lot of fun. It was a visit with Father Christmas, and they would teach you about how Christmas was celebrated back in the days of, Old World, Wisconsin, in different cultures, celebrating Wisconsin's Germanic history and that sort of thing. And you go in the summer, the reenactors, they'll show you how to forge steel, and they'll show you how to churn milk into butter. And they just do a wonderful job. I haven't been there in several years. They just opened a tavern. Well, now an historic tavern. How do you know? Oh, wait, because of your work with Travel Wisconsin, right? Discover Wisconsin, Discover Wisconsin. Eric said they just opened a tavern at Old World, Wisconsin. They moved the historic tavern that was up in Ashepin to the grounds of the Old World, Wisconsin Historical Society site. Okay, well, I'm for sure going this summer. I'm going to be ye old town drunk in Old World, Wisconsin. Hear ye, hear ye. Well, that's like medieval. That's like the Renaissance fair. Radio's Dan O'Donnell passed out by the chicken coop. No, go out to Old World, Wisconsin and show support to the Wisconsin Historical Society, which says, look, we're celebrating with. They put out like a history of Wisconsin's gay community post on their X feed 2 days ago. Like, they are celebrating the contributions of gay Wisconsinites. Who cares if they're flying? Personally, I think the only flag that should ever fly above state buildings is the American flag and the Wisconsin state flag. Oh, the Wisconsin Historical Society had a whole passage on LGBTQ stuff in their latest newsletter. Yeah, it's not as the caller was saying, yes, it's not as though they've abandoned it, because I'm still on their email list. So I think I get their monthly newsletter. That's why I can't remember if I'm still actually a paying member of the Wisconsin Historical Society. My guess is not. I've changed credit cards like 3 times since I joined. But the only flags that should be flying above state buildings ever, and I get the POW MIA flag memorial, even that, and I know I'm going to tick people off with that. I think I am a traditionalist, that the only flag that should ever fly above the White House is the flag of the United States of America. U.S. Capitol, same thing. State House in Madison, American flag, Wisconsin flag underneath it. That's it. Boom, done. End. You know, we're not going to have what for Halloween, you're going to fly the Jolly Roger. It's a position of honor. And I guess I don't understand how, we have these little hissy fits over, oh my gosh, it's a trans genocide if you don't fly the rainbow flag, or if you don't sufficiently virtue signal that you support the LGBTQIA & cause. Look, I can remember filling in on this radio station, and this was years and years and years ago, and saying, look, I think constitutionally, in the eyes of government, I think the gay community is absolutely correct in that the marriage between a man and a man, or a man and a woman and a woman, should have the exact same legal benefits as a marriage between a man and a woman. I believe you can make a very compelling 14th Amendment case. Now, the religious act, the sacrament of marriage, no. The church, absolutely. Any church has the right to define for itself what marriage ceremonies or what it's going to recognize as a legal holy union between man and wife or whatever. But in the eyes of government, I said, look, I am a big supporter of gay rights. I'm a massive supporter of gay rights. The last issues regarding gay rights, the rights of gay couples to adopt, to get married, to file joint tax returns, to get death benefits for insurance, all of those were settled. Now we're trying to pretend that it's a civil right to allow some 45-year-old sweaty dude in the bathroom with my 11-year-old daughter? Are you joking me? Or it's a civil right to have a 17-year-old boy dominate the girls in, of all sports, boxing. You had a biological male just win a track championship in California. In Minnesota, biological male pitched 2 straight shutouts and the softball team won the state title. We also just found out, do you remember Emain Khalif, the Olympic boxer who we were told is not a biological male? No. It's a conspiracy theory. You had the Italian boxer who got just her butt kicked by a man say, look, this is a man. Why am I being forced to box a man? She was sobbing because her Olympic dream was dashed because some dude who would get absolutely demolished by Floyd Mayweather wanted to beat up women instead. There was a leaked test from some prior competition a couple of years earlier that found, yes, Emain Khalif is a biological man, was born as a male, and was allowed to compete against women. This is a civil rights issue that conflicts with the actual civil rights issue of 50-some years ago, women having to fight to be considered equal citizens with men. My goodness, my mother was one of the first women to, in that era, attend law school at Marquette University. She worked her butt off. People saying, oh, women, they shouldn't be lawyers, they shouldn't be judges, they shouldn't be trained. Finished first in her class. She was, along with another woman, the first, Patricia Curley, she was the first female elected, those two, same night, elected to be a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge. All the while fighting against sexism and actual misogyny. Women of that era fighting just to have a girls' basketball team. Now, 50 years later, they get Title IX passed 50 years later. We're told that the new civil right is to allow some 6'9", 245-pound man to be allowed to play on the girls' basketball team. That's the civil right that you're fighting for. And we're told that they keep inventing new genders, each one weirder than the last. They keep inventing new forms of sexuality because America, by and large, has accepted the gay community. The L's, the G's, and the B's are perfectly fine. It's the T's constantly wanting to read stories while dressed up provocatively to little children that kind of gives the rest of us the willies. Seriously, you want Drag Queen Story Hour to be taken seriously and not thought of as a groomer's paradise? Read books to people in the hospital recovering from serious burn injuries. Read to cancer patients. Read to veterans down at the VA. Go to a senior citizens home. They never do. Why not? And they'll never go to the local high school and do Drag Queen Story. They're not reading the Hunger Games books. They're reading books about being trans to 4-year-olds. They want to be in a locker room with young female children. They want to play women's. I don't see any biological women clamoring to join the boys' basketball team. The women, the girls who are real pioneers, the ones who are going out for the football team, right, who want to compete against the boys. I was reading a thing about Caitlin Clark when she was in like 4th or 5th grade. She was just dominating the girls' teams, and she played against the boys. Dominated them too. I don't see any stories about LeBron James going to the girls' basketball team in middle school and scoring 600 points a game. But we've just sort of invented out of whole cloth something we're pretending, because the thing about it, and my friend Clay Travis said this, and it really stuck with me. That the demand for, he said it in the context of fake hate crimes, the demand for fake hate crimes far surpasses the supply. So they have to invent ones. The demand for civil rights injustices far surpasses the supply. I mean, the vast majority of people, and maybe people older than me, but people my age, you see a gay couple or a lesbian, hey, how you doing? Oh, this is my husband. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. It's just accepted, and it has been for some time. But because there is always a need, and this is how the left-wing brain at its core operates. There is always a need to be oppressed. And there is always a need for the political enemies of the left wing to be the oppressors. This is straight out of Marx. That they will always have this victimizer mentality, regardless of whether or not their perceived enemies are ever doing any real victimizing. This is why you see the increasingly hysterical accounting of what it is. Do you remember back in the day, net neutrality, where the government couldn't regulate the internet? If that was repealed, millions of people would die because of internet regulations? Are you nuts? Bono just said Doge cutting money has already led to the death of 300,000 people. I think we would have noticed if all of a sudden 300,000 people died because what? They weren't able to fund the transgender opera in Dublin? Because the Iraqi Sesame Street didn't get 20 million American dollars this year?
Tip line at 414-944-5111.
Northbound 43 going to be slammed from Fond du Lac up to Keefe with ongoing construction. Southbound is heavy from Center to the Marquette and onto 43-94 to the KK River Bridge. 94 delays break on either side of the stadium interchange. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell. Divorce and Family Law. 866-323-7529. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. CordellCordell.com.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas.
and you can win your way to be there.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com. But starting June 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only, or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet? Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you in Waukesha, Milwaukee, Muskego, Brookfield, Heartland, Cedarburg, and their Waukesha Fleet and Specialty location. If you have a business with a multi-vehicle fleet, Mander is the place to go because their team understands you can't have a vehicle out of service for a while, so they work quickly and efficiently to get you back on the road and serving your customers as fast as possible through expedited fleet repairs. Mander has been serving their customers and their community for well over 20 years, and they know that the key is expert workmanship and fast turnaround times combined with the sort of customer service that you'll only find at a family-owned local business like Mander. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out for yourself why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
Without hesitation, I can say that the lots you'll find at our newest development, Pebblebrook Hollow Phase 2 in the village of Waukesha, are the biggest and nicest we've had in 20 years. So let's set up a tour and find you the nicest one.
Galman Homes. Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved?
If you qualify for Medicare and Badger Care, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $175 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care PPO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with Wisconsin Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
ACI accredited NARI member, A+ BBB rating, dwelling contractor certified, fully insured and bonded. Licensed in Wauwatosa, Milwaukee, and Wisconsin for 25 years, standing behind the concrete Wisconsin businesses and residents stand on. DornbrookConstruction.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or our Brookfield store off I-94 and Blue Mound Road. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Fast and accurate, fair and balanced. Milwaukee's home for Fox News Radio. News Talk 1130 WISN.
Folks, we're going to have to move some things around. I am going to do some research that I put together because now it is really getting out there because of a post by Nate Silver, formerly of 530. He was the founder of 538. And he noted that one of the big reasons that Democrats are having trouble connecting with men is that conservatives score far higher on mental health. They rate themselves as having excellent mental health, whereas liberals, both men and women, report themselves as having very poor mental health. I have actually been on this for quite some time. I think and I say this with all seriousness, I think this explains a whole lot about American politics, that you have just a political movement that is filled. And I'm not saying you can be liberal and be happy and be fulfilled and be mentally stable, but there is a whole political movement on the left that is filled with fundamentally unhappy, angry, rage-filled people, and all of the available data proves it. We're actually going to get to that tomorrow. I'm going to have to call an audible here because I have been made aware of something very serious regarding this historical society story refusing to fly the pride flag that we were sort of having fun with. Apparently, the Evers administration was furious with their decision not to fly the pride flag. Maggie Gao, Wisconsin's real governor / nominal governor, Tony Evers' chief of staff, specifically was putting pressure on the Historical Society for some time to fly the flag, or else they were actually threatening to pull funding. Gao, along with Mark Spreitzer and Francesca Hong, were very, very nasty to the Historical Society about their decision not to fly the pride flag. This is a rather interesting development. In fact, my sources are telling me that it was Gao, as well as these senators and these representatives, who actually put those Historical Society employees up to writing the letter to the CEO and then leaking it to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as well as Madison 365. In other words, this wasn't just a spontaneous, we, the historical employees, are so aggrieved, we are so dismayed, we are so terrified by the decision. They actually said that they were fearful. They are fearful. Many of us were disappointed, angry, and fearful when we learned that the Wisconsin Historical Society would not raise the pride flag outside of our headquarters this June. Fearful. That wasn't organic. It was orchestrated by the Evers administration and Democrats in the state legislature. Here's the rather ironic thing. I am also told that the flagpole that is in front of the Wisconsin Historical Society does not actually belong to the Historical Society. It belongs to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, ROTC. So it's not even their flagpole. Technically, they'd have to check with ROTC in order to fly the pride flag. And if I know one thing about the young men and women who sign up for the ROTC, it's that they're less likely to be down with the pride flag than your average Historical Society employee. And yeah, they would be right, Eric. They would be far less likely to be bullied into flying it. So this actually gives me a newfound sense of respect for the CEO of the Historical Society in saying, look, we're a historical society. We're not an advocacy group. We're not a political group. We don't take sides in this sort of thing. We fly the Wisconsin flag and we fly the American flag. And oh, by the way, it's not our flagpole. The spokesperson, who still has the most hilarious name, I'm sorry, Colleen. I apologize. I can't help myself. Her name is Colleen Lies. Okay. She's the spokesperson for the Historical Society, and her name is Colleen Lies. Could you imagine if I went on every day and said, here's the latest news from Dan Lies. Dan lies about this exclusive report. No, I'm not lying about this. I've got this from very reputable sources. I am going to follow up with everybody involved in this because to me, that's something of a scandal. The Historical Society says, no, we're not going to fly the pride flag. And the Evers administration and members of the legislature are threatening to pull funding for the Historical Society of Wisconsin because they refuse to fly a flag. These are the same people who will scream about Donald Trump making unilateral decisions on behalf of different governmental departments that are under his control, I might add. I mean, if Evers really wanted that flag flown, if real Governor Maggie Gao really wanted that flag flown, she could have had it flown. That is fascinating, actually. Hey, producer Eric, is this going to be commercial break number 2 or 3? Oh, boy, then we had better take it. I'm sorry. I needed to get back and bring you that information that the Evers administration and Democrats in the legislature have been pressuring the Historical Society to fly the flag and actually put the employees up to writing this letter and then leaking it to the media to try to turn. I thought this from the very beginning. I said, this sounds really weird. Why is the Journal Sentinel getting into this thing with the Historical Society? Who cares about no, I shouldn't say that. The Wisconsin Historical Society. Look, I'm a history nerd. I'm a history buff. I do a podcast called Forgotten History every week. I love history. I love Wisconsin's history. I love the Wisconsin Historical Society. But in the grand scheme of things, who cares if they raise a pride flag? Truly, who cares? Didn't seem to me like statewide news. But it was because people in power wanted it to be news. And they wanted to assert their power over the Historical Society's director. We'll be right back on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. This is the Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha Total Traffic Center.
Stopping and going eastbound on 94, starting at 84th, clearing up east of 35th Street. Westbound delays from the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. 4145 northbound jam from Mayfair up to Hampton. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell. Divorce and Family Law. 866-323-7529. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. CordellCordell.com.
The Mark Belling Late Afternoon Show is now the Mark Belling Podcast, and it's always on 24/7. I'm on the iHeart app and all the other big podcast platforms. Standing up for Milwaukee and the world, the Mark Belling Podcast.
The Mark Belling Podcast is presented by Uline Shipping and Industrial Supplies. Ship same day for fast delivery. Visit uline.com. Also supported by Charisma Customs. You can get the Mark Belling Podcast right now at iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. Does it seem like storms travel hundreds of miles out of their way against prevailing winds to keep your basement damp, wet, moldy, even flooded? It isn't going to resolve itself. Freezing and thawing over time expands damage to walls, foundations, and even your family's health. That's not purified water seeping or running through your basement walls. It's filth, carrying every sort of bacteria, fungus, and mold. Only Ryan Waterproofing has an estimator project coordinator you'll love. Ashley's expert, honest, and will make you comfortable with the solutions proposed, and she'll be with you every step of the project. Doesn't matter how bad the cracks or sag in your basement walls are. Ryan has affordable sealant and water abatement solutions for most basements with convenient financing options, including 18 months, no interest financing. You actually might enjoy walking in the rain when it's not in your basement. Contact Ryan today, because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com. Call Ryan.com.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball and get a Jackson Churio jersey on Saturday the 7th. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket. ACCUNET.com.
I'm Kelly Lammert, owner of Clean Living Environments.
I'm Grave Genius. Since building 2 rooms farthest from the furnace barely had air coming from registers, and 18 years of crud accumulated in ducts.
Our superior agitation, high-powered suction cleaning systems got more ladybugs, dust, even original construction debris out of Steve's ducts than suction alone could.
Clean Living Environments AeroSeal duct sealing got more wasted energy off our energy bill as natural gas costs skyrocket.
Duct specialists block the vents and pressurize ducts, exposing leakage equivalent to a 90 square inch hole. After sealing, leakage is reduced to a 3-inch hole, a 94% reduction.
Our home has noticeably less dust. Air isn't getting sucked in through the basement and attic exposed duct pipe. Most incredibly, we get more air to rooms farthest from the furnace. Way more. See a video of this job at cleanlivingenvironments.com.
I personally guarantee the best price.
Yep.
Get more out of your ducts. CleanLivingEnvironments.com. That's cleanlivingenvironments.com.
Streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. It's fairly obvious they were inspired by Hasselist mattress. Hasselist showrooms are employee-free, plus unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic, plus free next-day delivery, plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with a proof of credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Maybe we should change our name to Hasselist Plus. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselist.com.
How long have you been living with that joint pain? You're calling it an old sports injury or just old age, but you just don't have to live with it. Jay Weber here saying it took me too long to figure that out. If you're someone who's experiencing spine or musculoskeletal pain or shoulder, hip, or knee pain, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. They're the doctors and techs that I trust with my shoulder problems. I've had issues for years, and there's not enough damage to warrant surgery, so Ortho Wisconsin helps me manage the pain. Their clinicians, physicians, and surgeons are committed to providing the highest quality joint care and handle everything from simple strains and tears to sports injuries to managing degenerative diseases to complex joint replacements. In fact, Orthopedic Associates specializes in same-day total joint replacements at their ambulatory surgery center in Milwaukee, and lesser treatments like physical therapy can be done at the Milwaukee, Brookfield, and New Berlin locations. Based on my experiences, you will be impressed with Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin and their staff. You can find them at orthowisconsin.com. orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
No plumbing problem is too large or too small for S&K Pump and Plumbing Service Department. Their professional technicians can handle everything from faucet repair and drain cleaning to water heaters and garbage disposals, and then some. Whether it's repair or installation, they thrive on getting the job done neatly and efficiently. Call 262-784-HELP or visit SNKPump.com.
When it comes to water, one call does it all. SNK Pump and Plumbing.
Infinity's app shows precise costs of your new roof, providing peace of mind.
Infinity costs less, and the price we quote is surprise-free.
Because we pay less, you pay less. Warranted, guaranteed quality.
Installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
Both grateful and humble for the unwavering support of our listeners. It's because of you that this is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130 WISN.
I think this is something of a scandal in the Wisconsin Historical Society, not over its executive director's decision not to fly the pride flag this year, saying we don't believe that it's the Historical Society's mission to take sides. We're curators, preservers, and evangelizers of history, of the history of this state. We are not a political entity, and this is a political issue. The Historical Society also put out a post on social media highlighting the accomplishments and achievements of the LGBTQ community in Wisconsin historically, and also highlighted the LGBTQ community in its monthly newsletter for June. But they didn't fly the pride flag. And incidentally, the flagpole outside of the Historical Society's headquarters actually belongs to UWMadison's ROTC. I believe it's the Army ROTC. So they don't even have operational control over that flagpole. When they decided not to fly the pride flag, the chief of staff of Governor Tony Evers, Maggie Gao, flipped out, threatened to pull funding from the Historical Society, and demanded that they fly the flag. When the executive director of the Historical Society said, no, this is not something we made the decision as a management team. We are not going to fly the pride flag. State legislators Mark Spreitzer and Francesca Hong got involved, and I guess just blew a gasket at this executive director or members of the Historical Society's leadership team, screamed at them, berated them, threatened to pull funding from them. And then I am told Gao orchestrated a letter ostensibly from dejected and fearful Historical Society employees who said they make up the LGBTQ community that is deeply offended by the decision not to fly the flag. In reality, all of this was being orchestrated by Tony Evers' administration, his very powerful chief of staff, who has been long rumored to actually run the office for the governor, who is something of an absentee leader, as well as two members of the Wisconsin Legislature. That this wasn't an authentic grassroots movement at all. That this was, in fact, a political hit coming from Democrats in the legislature and the Evers administration against this state's historical society. All over the fact that they wouldn't fly a pride flag for June. That seems to me a big deal. I don't know. Then, you see, it gets leaked to Madison 365. It gets leaked, this letter, to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, who then publishes it today so that it gets more public pressure. Unfortunately, it also got picked up on by me. And I happen to have a whole ton of sources everywhere who will tell me what was really going on with this decision, with this letter, and with what I think is a very unethical pressure campaign by Democrats in the state legislature, as well as the governor's office, the most powerful figure in this state. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Back to wrap things up next.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Delays on 43 northbound starting at Fond du Lac, clearing up north of Keefe. You got southbound delays from north to the Marquette and on to 4394 in pockets down to the KK River Bridge. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks.
The Starbucks Summer Berry Refresher is officially back. Bold notes of raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry shaken with ice and poured over raspberry-flavored pearls. Try it with lemonade or coconut milk. Available for a limited time. Your Summer Berry Refresher is ready at Starbucks.
The storm chasers are circling. It's Jay, and you'll probably encounter them given the recent severe weather here. I've gotten a few calls just because hail dropped in my area. But if your roof is damaged, understand that they'll be gone and into the next town, and you'll be out of luck when you need warranty work done or aren't satisfied with their job. Some of them also try to pressure you into signing a contract on the spot. It's better to go with Semperfi, a trusted local roofer whose business model is literally will be that standout company. Semperfi offers a fast, free 21-point roof inspection and estimate, world-class customer service, and skilled installation by trained and tested work crews. They also offer a 15-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And yes, Semperfi works with all insurance companies. This is the roof on your home. It's too important to take a chance on a roving roofer. Call Semperfi Roofing today. 262-600-2910. That's 262-600-2910. Or go online to semperfiroofing.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
I'm Dave Brownsdorf, president of Flawless Flooring. Realtor.com says depending on location and a few other factors, new hardwood floors add as much as 2.5% to a home sale value, even if you plan to sell. Enjoy home more now while increasing your sale price with Flawless's LVP, hardwood, or amazing realistic, super wear-resistant modern laminate plank. Steamy wet dog and litter box aromas bother homeowners and buyers. But you say, Dave, we want the sound deadening and warmth underfoot of carpet? Our Delafield and New Berlin showrooms have countless style and combination flooring choices, including quality luxury carpet lines. Steamy stains and carpet stink, including pet fluids, wipe-off flawless floorings, luxury vinyl plank, and modern laminate plank, zero steam effortlessly. Our employee-only craftsmen meticulously refinish existing hardwood, even perfectly blending additional hardwood with existing. With Flawless's nothing down, zero interest financing, upgrade today and pay over 21 months. Sensory underload, Flawless Flooring. FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go.
Hey, it's Jerry Butt. You know that feeling you get when you realize you're dealing with a company that cares about you, not just as a customer, but as a person? That's the overwhelming feeling I got when I bought my vehicle at Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. The Holiday staff was attentive, patient, totally engaged, and they listened. That inspires confidence, and confidence inspires trust.
Connect with Holiday's summer road trip sale. Score enticing offers and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC.
Oh, we are all looking for adventure.
Come be our guest, take a test drive, and get ready to travel the road ahead. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday.
Living free, and I was meant to be free. Meant to be free.
Holiday Automotive, Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com.
It's worth the trip.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
If your home needs new roofing, siding, windows, or doors, then call my friends at Weather Pro Exteriors. You see, big remodeling projects like these require a reliable contractor, and homeowners across Wisconsin trust Weather Pro Exteriors as they only use the highest quality building materials and certified professional installers. Call today and receive $1,000 off a full roof replacement plus a $200 quick trip gift card. Scheduled today at weatherproexteriors.com.
In 21st century America, it's hard to know who or what to believe. The bureaucracy embraces its own agenda. The news media vilifies traditional American values. Social media is a sewer of disinformation. News Talk 1130 WISN is the counterpoint to all of it. We believe in intellectual honesty, and we believe that good and decent people are more than capable of processing that honesty and be better off for it. Believe us, because we believe in you. News Talk 1130 WISN.
It is true that life is sort of one big Seinfeld episode. And this story that we just sort of stepped in over the last half hour, 45 minutes is proof of it. The Wisconsin Historical Society is refusing to wear the yellow ribbon, and everybody is putting pressure not just on Kramer, as in, what was the yellow ribbon for? Was it for AIDS? Do you even remember? It was the AIDS walk. Back in the 90s, Seinfeld did an absolutely hilarious take on meaningless virtue signaling. Turns out the yellow ribbon is now a pride flag, and the people putting pressure on Kramer is now the governor's administration. We're getting that up on social media, so you'll be able to share it as soon as we can. Out of time for today's show, however. Back tomorrow with the Wednesday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. Talk to you then.